Today is a very auspicious day, Gopasthami, and disappearance of Vaishnavas. We will come to that. Gopasthami means is a big festival in Vrindavan because on today's day Krishna is grown up enough that Nanda Maharaj now gave him responsibility to graze the cows. Before, when he was more small, he only was grazing calves, small cows. But now he can take big cows. So this responsibility was given to him by Nanda Maharaj, and in Vrindavan everyone is celebrating this in all like throwing rice with kurkuma and other festivities. And also today is day when we worship cows. All demigods are residing in cows, and cow has all good qualities, not harming anyone and benefiting everyone in all ways by giving milk, by giving, then ghee is coming, and also later when they die for mridanga and all sorts of that cow dung to purify or to heat during winter. Everything coming from cow is beneficial and not harming anyone, and cow is the highest animal. Then next birth comes human birth after cow. Cow is supreme of all other species, and Krishna also is playing this pastime of being cowherd because village life is simple life and their loving relations have no any restrictions of anything. That is why Krishna is playing such pastime by Yoga Maya, and Krishna is worshipping cows, serving cows, loving cows, calling by flute also cows, grazing and milking them. So our Gurudev also told that in this world nowadays you see many cruelty being done to cows for the sake of money, like for everything else. For the sake of money they are doing all sorts of cruelty to others, whether animals or humans, it doesn't matter. The only target is to exploit, but they will have to be punished. So cows, if someone is doing violence, that is not good for society. And also it is stated in Shastra, in some place, that if cow is dissatisfied and is cruelly treated, then that milk is like a blood, and that you cannot offer to Krishna. Or our Gurudev said, at least we are protesting against that cruelty to animals by not buying those products from such companies which are doing such atrocities, cruelty to cows. Krishna is not happy with that. Mahaprabhu was very happy to see cows also got ecstatical symptoms just by seeing cow. Sacred and one kind of mother, so it is object of worship. So one should not commit any violence to cow. Nowadays, this is so strange, this Kali Yuga. Nowadays they want to kill cows because they are of course, money is behind. They're falsely making this climate crisis based on wrong facts. What is the cause of climate change and all this? You will find scientists there explaining, but some section of people. So now they came up with this, that because of cows, there is too much CO2 in the air, so that is causing a lot of problem. So we have to kill all cows. So how far we came in Kali Yuga. The cows are now have to be killed because of some people with wrong motives and wrong propaganda, because they want to sell that laboratory meat made in that. So far we came. Instead of worshipping cow, we are doing such things. It's very difficult, this Kali Yuga. And today also in Vrindavan, in Brajamandal, or anywhere else, go grass done means one should give some food to cow, should feed cow. In our mat in Chandigarh, because we have cows, devotees they give. In our Mayapur mat also on today's day we worship cow, and abhishek of feet and putting garland and cloth, nice decoration, and doing arati of cow and feeding. Everyone will feed cow with that Radha Madan Mohan Prasad, rice, dal, everything mixed together. Then you make a ball and you give to cow and she will eat, or some bananas or some apple also they are taking. That is happy, and you can massage her. She, if you touch cow, you will immediately feel happy. Those cows which are happy and they're giving milk. And one time it happened in our Delhi mat in Paharganj. That is full city, very dense population. So you will not find any cows there. But on today's day, 1 year, I don't know, maybe 2006 or 7, one brahmachari suddenly called me and Boshuda, you come down, you come down. It was 5 a.m., I think before Mangalarati, or just after Mangalarati, I think it was before. No one anywhere. And he said, come down, come down. And then we came to the entrance to the mat, and there was one cow there. We don't know from where she came, but by the will of Krishna and Gurudev, she came and he gave us some apple from store, and we all feed that cow on today's day, Gopasthami. Then we did this seva, which is to be done today. Then after getting that, she went, and then we did not see her anymore. So by Krishna's will, out of compassion, to give scope of service. So today is this festival of Gopasthami, very happy festival. We should worship cow, serve, and Krishna will grace. And those things we have to protest against those things, against cows. Because cow protection is one of the limb of devotion. You will find in 64, protection of cows and auspicious trees and Brahmins and these things. This should not be cruel behavior to them. That is so detrimental to society. It will harm everyone. what to speak of. Nowadays, our Gurudev told the people, human species, they have become more ferocious than beasts. Beasts, they will at least kill only for their livelihood, others. But man, some section of society under the influence of Tamaguna, they are so violent, they are killing others even without having any direct animosity with them, but for some political purpose or for something, for money or for, they will kill indiscriminately, and also women, children, everyone. So everything is then polluted, and then these natural catastrophes are coming and all this, because it has to be balanced. So much sinful activities human beings doing. So very sad, and only way is to help people become devoted to God in any way, or at least moral, some spiritual values and morality. There is some section which are atheistic, but they have some morality at least. They know about the law of karma and this, so they follow. But those who are immoral atheists, they are indiscriminately doing violence to everyone. And they will have to be punished. We have to uplift them by chanting, by propagating devotion to them. And today is the disappearance day of Gadadhar Das. Our Gurudev wrote biography. One is Gadadhar Pandit in Panchatattva, and another is Gadadhar Das. In Panchatattva, Gadadhar Pandit, he is Radharani, and Gadadhar Das is Radharani's effulgence, luster, Jyoti. He means that luster took form of Gadadhar Das and appeared in this world, in Gaur Lila, and he was an associate of Nityananda Prabhu. Sometimes it is written that he is follower of Gauranga Mahaprabhu branch or Nityananda, both is there. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was trying to go to Vrindavan, but then came on halfway, he came back. Then he came some days back. We observed that day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered into Panihati village in the house of Raghav Pandit. There he first met Gadadhar Das. He came there to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And when Gadadhar Das heard that Mahaprabhu had arrived at Raghav Pandit's house, he ran to see him. Gadadhar Das is extremely dear to Mahaprabhu. His body is charged with the joy of devotion. When the Lord saw the pious Gadadhar, he lifted his feet and placed them on his head. Then, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Puri, he ordered Nityananda Prabhu to go back to Bengal to preach. That time Gadadhar Das was in his preaching party. And he was always in the mood of Gopi, because that was his eternal identity. And he was in that ecstasy. He would say, yogurt, who will buy yogurt or milk, like this. In the mood of Gopi he was, and was preaching together with Nityananda Prabhu and other associates. And also in his house, Gadadhar Das's house, once Madhavananda Ghosh made one drama, Dan Keli Lila, when Krishna wants to take tax from gopis. That Lila was in Gadadhar Das's house, made by Madhavananda Ghosh, and when then Nityananda also came to see that drama. That was in Gadadhar Das's house. And also, Gurudev mentioned, in that village, area Daha, this is little north of, or 1 second. Yes, little north of Kolkata. There was one very cruel Qazi there. Qazi means administrator. This is not name. Then you have Chand Qazi is in Mayapur. Then here was another Qazi like this. So he was very cruel and hater of Vaishnavas and Brahmins and this. But Gadadhar Das thought he was in full ecstasy. He thought he's the only person who did not yet start chanting Harinam. It is not good. So in that ecstasy, in full ecstasy, he did not care for anyone. He just entered that residence of Chand Kazi, and no one could stop him, guards, and no one. Even Chand Kazi was surprised how Gadadhar came, and he also became pacified by seeing his ecstasy. Then Kazi asked him, why you came here? Then Gadadhar said, the Gaur Nityananda, they have rescued whole world, induced everyone to chant Harinam. It is only you who did not yet start chanting Harinam. So I came to tell you to start chanting Harinam. Then Kazi was influenced by his mood, so he did not become angry or cruel like this. He just smiled and he said, okay, tomorrow I will start chanting Harinam. Then Gadadhar said, why tomorrow? Just now you said Hari. So now you are pious and your sins will be destroyed. Then he came out. And he also rescued so many because that divine power was in him. It is mentioned. With Nityananda Prabhu, they rescued so many atheists and other criminals and to devotion. And when Raghunath Das Goswami made that festival of chipped rice and yogurt, he was also present in that festival as Nityananda's associate. So on today's day, Gadadhar disappeared. And Srinivas Acharya, whom we will hear a little later, he came to his disappearance festival on this Tithi. And later on, Srinivas Acharya disappeared on this same Tithi. Many Vaishnavas, many exalted Vaishnavas participated in this disappearance festival of Gadadhar Das. This festival was made by Srinivas Acharya. So I am bowing down to Gadadhar Das and praying for his causeless mercy. For more details, you can find in Gurudev's book. Then today also is Dhananjay Pandit. In Krishna Lila, he is Vasudam Saka, one of the 12 Gopals, prominent associates of Baladev Prabhu, 12 Gopals. One of them is Vasudam. So he appeared in Gaur Lila as Dhananjay Pandit, became associate of Nityananda Prabhu. Dhananjay Pandit was Nityananda Prabhu's dear servant. He was very renounced and full of love for Krishna. His primary home was in Shitalgram and another home in Sanchara Panchara and Jalandi villages. He was married with Haripriya, but no children, and he would daily 3 times make obeisance to Tulsi Devi, and even though he was married very young, he went to parikrama, different holy places. His father gave him money, but Dhananjay gave all that money to Mahaprabhu and was begging for his food. Dhananjay's main home or Shripat was in Shitalgram. The deities of Gopinath, Nitai, Gaurango and Damodar worshipped by him are still being served there. These deities are brought into a field not far from the temple where the Disappearance Day festival is held annually in the middle of Magh. Means maybe appearance, because now it is Kartik, today's day he disappeared. And he was also there when Mahaprabhu was doing his Sankirtan in Navadip. Then from there he went to Shitalgram and then to Vrindavan Parikrama. Nityananda Prabhu delivered the most fallen and crushed the atheistic. These powers were manifest in his dear devotee Dhananjay. Dhananjay Pandit converted many robbers and atheists in the Shitalgram area. Dhananjay Pandit was an extraordinarily great Vaishnava. Nityananda Prabhu took a permanent residence in his heart. This is from Chaitanya Bhagavat. As one enters the Shitalgram temple, a small Tulsi altar stands on the left. This is the site of Dhananjay Pandit's Samadhi. His disappearance day is the Krishna Ashtami of Kartik month, means today. So I'm bowing down to Dhananjay Pandit Prabhu and praying for his causeless mercy. Also today is Disappearance Day of Srinivas Acharya. His father, Gadadhar, he saw how Mahaprabhu took sannyas in Katwa. And out of separation grief, he constantly repeated, Ha Chaitanya, Ha Chaitanya, Ha Chaitanya. And after also repeating always, so people, devotees, they gave him this name, Chaitanya Das. He was married to Lakshmi Priya and they were doing bhajan all the time without any other desire. But one day suddenly Chaitanya Das felt desire in his heart to have a child. And he was surprised why this desire is coming. I am doing bhajan. I have no any other desire. Then he told to Lakshmi Priya, wife. Then Lakshmi Priya said, okay, then you have to submit this to Mahaprabhu. Then they went to Puri. Lakshmi Priya wife is also devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, pure devotee, both. Then when they came there, even before Chaitanya Das could say, already Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he knows everything, he said, Jagannath Dev will surely fulfill all your desires. Then later on, some devotees asked Mahaprabhu, what desires? Then Mahaprabhu told to Govinda and other devotees, like as if from a trance state, Chaitanya Das desires to have a child. Indeed, his wife will soon give birth to a jewel of a son who will be named Srinivas. He will be the manifest form of my love and will increase everyone's enthusiasm for devotion. I will bring scriptures into the world through Rupa Goswami and others. Through Srinivas, I shall distribute them. Srinivas is the embodiment of pure love for me. All minds will be enthused upon seeing him. So when they received this message from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Chaitanya Das and Lakshmi Priya, they came back, and at the auspicious time, Srinivas was born, and they made all samskaras, and other associates like Govinda Ghosh and Narahari from Srikanda, Raghunandan, they poured blessings on the child. Then Srinivas Acharya was serving his parents, he was devoted, and he heard from them about Mahaprabhu and about Radha Krishna. And father and son would go into an ecstatic state as they discussed these transcendental topics. His mother trained him in various forms of Nama Sankirtan. Different styles of Nama Sankirtan mother taught. Then he studied also scriptures, Sanskrit, grammar, all. And then soon Srinivas's father, the Chaitanya Das, left this world, but other devotees, they consult him. Then they moved from Mother to another village near Srikanda, where Narahari Sarkar was there, his associate of Mahaprabhu. Then one day he told him, Narahari told Srinivas, soon Mahaprabhu will leave this world. Then Srinivas immediately, wanting to have his darshan, he took permission from Mother and went to Puri with other Bengali devotees. But on the way, really news came that Mahaprabhu already disappeared. So Srinivas Acharya was so disappointed, he wanted to kill himself. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in his dream and gave him his darshan in Puri. Darshan of Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra, as well as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with his associates. In dream he got darshan. Then he and told him, you should go to Puri. So he came to Puri, and there he met all associates of Mahaprabhu like Raya Ramananda, Paramananda Puri, Shiki Mahiti, Sarvam Bhattacharya, Bakreshwar Pandit, Govinda, Shankar Pandit, Gopinath Acharya, also Gadadhar Pandit. So he got blessings from them. And he was there for some time and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. You remember, Mahaprabhu used to hear from Gadadhar Pandit about Dhruva and Prahlad Charitra continuously. That is very necessary. And Mahaprabhu also told to Gadadhar, you have to remain here in Puri to bless Srinivas. But when Srinivas came, Gadadhar said, I will teach you Bhagavatam as ordered by Mahaprabhu, but you have to bring your own copy, because my copy is not useful anymore, because Gadadhar was crying so much and everything was wet and was not. So he brought his own copy and Gadadhar taught him Bhagavatam. Gadadhar is Radharani. So if you hear Bhagavat from Gadadhar Pandit, that is of different quality. Then, when he was going back to Bengal, the news came that Advaita Acharya Nityananda Prabhu also left this world. Then again he was so much disappointed, again he wanted to kill himself. But they also, Nityananda and Advaita, they appeared in his dream and gave darshan to him and consoled him. Then when he came to Navadip, he met Banshivananda Thakur and Vishnupriya, wife of Mahaprabhu. Sachi Mata already disappeared. But Srinivas Acharya also got darshan and blessing of Sachi Mata in dream. So if one is eligible, our Gurudev also told, if one is eligible, you can get darshan, even after disappearance. Either directly they may appear if they want, or in dream, but you have to be eligible. He was so eager to get darshan, wanting to kill himself. That is why they all gave him darshan. So if that eagerness is there, then we can get. Then he was wandering in Bengal, meeting all different associates of Mahaprabhu who were still living that time. Murari Gupta, Srivas Pandit, Damodar Pandit, Shuklambar Brahmachari, Gadadhar Das, Parameshwari, Janava, Boshuda, Birbhadra, Abhiram Thakur, Narahari Sarkar Thakur, Raghunandan Thakur. And they witnessed his intense devotion and told him to go to Vrindavan. Then Srinivas again took permission from his mother and he came to Vrindavan, but first he visited other different holy places also. Then when he came to Vrindavan, he came to know Rup Sanatan, Kashishwar, Raghunath Bhatta all disappeared. But Jiva Goswami was still there, Raghunath Das Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And also Lokanath and Garba. Srinivas Acharya took initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami. That is why also you will find Srinivas Acharya, he wrote that famous song, Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro. Premamritam Bhumiti. That Shargosami Ashtakam, Bande Rupa Sanatana Ragujugo, Shri Jiva Gopalako. Srinivas Acharya wrote. Then, and he was studying all Shastra from whom? From Jiva Goswami. Together with Narottam and Dukhi Krishnadas. Then Jiva Goswami, seeing their qualities, he gave title Acharya to Srinivas, Thakur to Narottam, and Shamananda to Dukhi Krishnadas. And how it happened, one day, and also Srinivas met Raghunath Das Goswami and Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Radhakund and received their blessings. One day Shri Jiva Goswami heard Srinivas explain a verse from Ujjwal Nilamani and was so impressed by his erudition that he bestowed the title Acharya upon him. Ujjwal, there is Bhaktarasamrita Sindhu, you know about devotion, mixed devotion, pure devotion, then rasa and different rasas and stages, everything. And with examples, big book. But because Madhurya rasa is so extensive, Rupa Goswami wrote another book dealing only with Madhurya rasa. That is Ujjwal Nilamani. That is why we are not allowed to hear when not attaining that eligibility. But he had that, so he was also explaining. There about different gopis, something is briefly mentioned in Jaiva Dharma. So that is why we know, but that is some special book. But one will get opposite effect if he will, without proper qualification, try to study that and understand. He may misunderstand. Then you know, then Jiva Goswami sent them back to Bengal with all the scriptures to preach and to distribute the scripture. And they had a big chest, bullock cart they were driving. But there are Muslims, so many Muslims, so they did not take any rest during night time. They were just going. But when they reached Hindu area, born Bishnupur, this is in Bengal already. There they thought, oh, here is Hindu king, so here no problem. Then they slept, but king was having such character, Bir. In the morning he used to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and during daytime he used to govern as king, and during night time he was the leader of robbers, stealing. So all three he did. Then he came to know, someone told us, some big wealth is passing through your country now. Then king had one personal astrologer. Nowadays also politicians, they have their own astrologers. So he had his own astrologer, and he told him to check whether it is true. Then astrologer made calculation. He said, yes, big jewels, they are coming. So you have to steal big jewels. Then king ordered his men, you get that, but don't kill anyone. Then they were worshipping Chandi, that is Kali, and they came there and saw the others sleeping, very tired. So they thought, oh, Kali is very gracious to us, no problem. Then they took that and brought to king, and they opened, and the only books were there. So king was disappointed, but still, just seeing those books, because they are sacred books, holy books, transcendental, that gave him Sukriti. And he had that desire, I want to meet, that spontaneously came, I want to meet the one who wrote these books. But they were disappointed, and he asked the astrologer, how you committed such a mistake? Then he said, I don't know. I calculated many times. Every time I came to same conclusion. Even now when I calculate, it is same. The big jewels came, big wealth came. But it is true, but they could not understand. That is far greater wealth than any kind of money, gold, and these things. It will give transcendental Krishna prema. You know that Parshamani, that stone, was with Sanatana Goswami, and he gave to that Brahmin, but that Brahmin ultimately understood Sanatana Goswami must have something more. Otherwise, why he forgot about that Parshamani? He came back and he said, I think you have something more. Then Sanatana Goswami said, if you believe me, then you throw this stone in Jamuna. You will never see it again. And he had faith in Sanatana Goswami, Gurudev. So then Sanatana Goswami gave him Krishna Prema Dhan, wealth of Krishna Prema. So here also it happened, big wealth. Then they woke up and they were very disappointed. They wanted to kill themselves, losing all scriptures. That time it was not like on USB, you have copies and you will make copy and print. No, that time everything on handwritten. If you lose, it is gone. So they planned to kill themselves, but villagers said, we think our king did it because we know his character. You can check there. Then Srinivas Acharya said to Narottam and Shamananda, you go to Bengal, and to Risa you start preaching. I will try to get the books. So he came to King's palace, and one Brahmin told him that king is hearing Bhagavatam in the morning. Then Srinivas Acharya also came there and sat, and all were attracted by his beauty because Srinivas Acharya was same like Mahaprabhu, same. Very tall, golden, and embodiment of Krishna Prema, all were attracted, king also, and Srinivas Acharya sat there, and when the one who was reading Bhagavatam, he was explaining, but he made one apasiddhanta. Then hearing that, Srinivas Acharya said, ah. Then king asked him, why? What is the problem? Then he said, because that is not real explanation. That is wrong. Then king said, oh, you know Bhagavatam? You can explain? He said, yes. Then king immediately changed. From now on, you will explain Bhagavatam. Then he was doing Bhagavatam every day, Harikatha, and heart of king and all others changed. And they became so much attracted and got all knowledge and everything. They surrendered to him and they became his disciples. Then, king also made one place for Srinivas Acharya to stay, secluded place. And they were serving him. But one day they heard he's crying inside. Then king thought, oh, Sarvanash, everything is destroyed. We did some offense to our Gurudev, that is why he's crying. Then they came inside and they begged for forgiveness, what fault we made, Gurudev. Then he said, no, nothing your fault, but it is my misfortune. I had scriptures from Vrindavan, but I lost those. I could not keep. That is why I'm crying. Then king said, oh, books. Yes, I have. And then he showed, and they were the books. And then Srinivas Acharya sent a message to Jiva Goswami and also to Narottam and Shavana. The books are all right. Then he also came to Bengal and was preaching. And in that Keturi festival of Narottam Thakur, the Narottam Thakur, on the order of Lokanath Goswami, made big temple and did the installation and ceremony and first puja was done by Srinivas Acharya in that place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Nityananda also appeared in that kirtan. Narottam Thakur did. There's a great festival, Keturi. And also then he went to Jajigram, Katwa, and Navadip he visited. Then he also met his mother again, saintly mother. Then mother told him, you should get married. But he was reluctant. Then Narahari Sarkar Thakur of Srikanda also told him, no, you have to get married. And even before that, in dream, Advaita Acharya told to Srinivas Acharya that you will have to get married. So he could not ignore the wishes of Advaita Prabhu, Narahari Sarkar and his mother. He thus agreed to get married and was wed to Ishwari, the devoted daughter of Gopal Chakravarti of Jajigram. It is not always easy to understand the divine activities of Mahaprabhu's devotees. Only someone who is totally surrendered to the Lord and his devotees can comprehend their glories. It was not out of any worldly desire. It was to get cooperation for the service of Krishna, to show by example how real householders' marriage life should be proper for the service of Krishna. Some have to be examples of this. But there was no lust or any other desire, only purely for the service of Krishna. That is why they also ordered. Then he was preaching everywhere, and that festival he made for Gadadhar Das, we heard, his Disappearance festival. Then Jannava met him when she came from Vrindavan, She was guest in his house in Jajigram, Jannava Mata, wife of Nityananda Prabhu. And also, together with Narottam Thakur and Ramachandra Kaviraj, Srinivas Acharya, they came to Navadip and did Navadip Parikrama. And before that, already when they were still in Vrindavan, they did Parikrama with Raghav Goswami. We are hearing about the Julan Yatra Day. Raghav Goswami is always doing Parikrama of Brajadham. He knows all places. So only 3 persons doing Parikrama. Raghav Goswami, Srinivas Acharya, Narottam. And here, Narottam, Srinivas and Ramachandra Kaviraj doing Parikrama of Navadip. 3 persons. Then when Raghunandan Thakur disappeared, Srinivas Acharya went there on his disappearance festival. Then went to Jajigram and also to Bon Bishnupur to see his disciples there, king and others. Then when in Vishnupur, Srinivas Acharya received an order from Mahaprabhu in a dream to accept the hand of Gauranga Priya, the daughter of a certain Raghav Chakravarti. Raghav Chakravarti and his wife Madhavi had been searching for a suitable husband for their daughter. They had simultaneously received the order to give their daughter in marriage to Srinivas Acharya in a dream. Srinivas Acharya thus married for the second time 2 wives, but all on pure devotional platform. No material desires, only for cooperation, for assisting, for service of Krishna. The 2 wives also allowed, if it is for the service of Krishna. First is Ishwari, this is Gauranga Priya. Pure devotees, our Gurudev here wrote, pure devotees have no objective in life other than to fulfill the desires of the Supreme Lord. They are thus ready to do anything if it pleases the Lord. None of their activities has the slightest hint of material desire in it. Srinivas Acharya is the Shaktya Abhishta avatar, one who is empowered. Shaktya Abhishta avatar of Mahaprabhu. Shaktya Abhesh means empowered. It's not different from Mahaprabhu because having that power in him. And only a person who has received his special blessings can describe his transcendental activities. We cannot understand. Externally observing, we cannot understand. But if we surrender, by his grace we can understand that his only objective in life is to please desire, or to satisfy, to fulfill the desire of Supreme Lord. Like Chaitanya Das and his wife Lakshmi Priya, they had no desire for children, for their own enjoyment or for old age, like no. But they had to do that seva to bring Srinivas Acharya. And Srinivas Acharya also had to get married 2 times for the service of Krishna. So today is his disappearance day. I am going down to his lotus feet and praying for his causeless mercy. And just one little part of Upadesamrita I will read because of KARTIK VRATA. Yesterday we heard 2nd verse. That if someone is saying prema, 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 or one-pointed devotion to Krishna, but not following Shruti, Smriti, Puranadi, means injunctions of the Shastra, that will only be disturbance to society, like Sahajiyas and these things. Then a song of Bhaktivinoda Thakur was there very clearly explaining how such mentality enters, and if someone really wants to get real prema, then he has to follow that process. Give up offenses to the holy name, and those stages are there. And what is the real prema, what is lust, outwardly looks same, but inside it is totally opposite. So first awaken faith, then sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, anartha nibriti nishta ruchya sakti, then bhav, then prema. So my mind, why you are afraid to accept this gradual proper procedure? What you will gain by only saying prema, 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 but not accepting the actual service of Krishna? You, like an actor, your deceitful show of divine love is simply gross sense gratification. Give it up forever, brother. Give up your sins and offenses. Divine love never manifests from lust. So, those who adhere to those stages attain true divine love. Divine love does not develop by rejecting them, those stages. Then further, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is telling, the association of impersonalist jnanis who are seekers of liberation, the association of karmis who seek the fruits of their actions, and the association of anabhilasis who seek immediate sense gratification are called jnana sangha. When that is non-devotee, that should be rejected. When we attain the association of souls surrendered to the Lord, the association of these materialists will leave us of its own accord. Desires for liberation and enjoyment and all inclinations to pursue worldly sense pleasure are called laulya. Atyahara, prayasa, prajalpa, niyamagraha, jnana sangha and laulya. Our propensity for subservience to Krishna is lost because of these 6 propensities. So these 6 we have to give up. Overeating, over collecting, this useless endeavor for other things, then prajalpa, not following rules of bhakti but other things, then associating with non-devotees, and this greediness or fickle-mindedness, undecisiveness, everything is good, like this, all these propensities, they will make us astray from subservience to Krishna. Devotion is lost. In the illusory environment, we develop the desire to become a master, and even our ability to understand that devotion is the supreme, that devotion to Krishna is supreme, is destroyed. When we use these 6 propensities for Krishna, we develop devotion. But otherwise, when we apply them to things other than Krishna, we fall from the path of devotion. So here it ends. Then tomorrow we will hear this song by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So when we are in illusion, then we think I'm master, enjoyer, proprietor, and even false pride is there. I don't have that competency, I don't have those qualities, but still I either am so illusioned that I think I have, or intentionally I demand or act in that way just for the sake of getting that name, pleasure of name and fame, and from that false ego position, someone at least has qualities and he's proud, okay. But worse than this is, someone does not have qualities, but he is professing. He's very competent and like this, and out of false pride is disrespecting others, belittling, criticizing, all these things. So that is under the influence of Maya, illusion. So he cannot be happy and cannot get devotion. But by sadhu sangha, and if someone has sukriti, if he will accept service to Krishna, then gradually by that service he can overcome this also. Maybe he even is not aware of all false ego he has. By sadhana it will be revealed more and more, and how to give up, then gradually we can come out, and then we can come to Trinada Visunichana. Otherwise, influence of false ego is there. But it is possible, but it may take time, and it is very difficult. We are hearing in other things, it is not so difficult to give up, but name and fame, false ego, very difficult. Our Parangurudev also told in his last message, very problematic, this false ego. But unless we control that by sadhu sangha and bhajan, we cannot attain Krishna prema. So tomorrow we'll hear further Upadesamrita.